time for our Ask the Attorney segment. Attorney Stewart Vance from the Vance Law Firm is here in the studio. He's ready to answer any of your legal questions that you may have. He'll do that right here on the air. It's really easy to get those answers. Just call that number on your screen, 334-420-9732. You can memorize that. 420-WSFA is the easiest way to remember that number. As we kick off this new year, is this the first segment I think we've done in the new year?
It is, yes.
Since you've been here. A lot of folks are making some New Year resolutions, some financial resolutions, and that may mean adjusting some of their bills, like their insurance bills. And you actually have some really good advice for people who are looking to maybe take a second look at when it comes to health insurance and car
some
insurance
words of warning as well. Like, you're right, great time to check. Premiums usually come due in January. Auto insurance, health insurance, watch those. I always say it often. The car insurance, most people want the least expensive to keep their bills down. Please be careful and do not waive the uninsured, underinsured motorist. It's not required by the state, so sometimes people say, I want the least expensive liability coverage that I can get, and some companies will say, okay, we'll sign right here to get that. What they're doing is you're signing a waiver to not have uninsured and underinsured coverage. The savings there, it's not worth not having it. I mean, it's only probably less than $10 a year to have that portion. Yeah, you're saving the $10, but gosh, if someone uninsured runs into you, causes some injury to you or your vehicle, you know, you're going to wish you had some of that coverage that you might be waiving inadvertently. So be careful there. Also, health insurance, people have usually rushed to use, they've made their deductible for 2024, so they were trying to get in all the medical treatment they might think they need. And then now New Year comes along, you've got a new deductible you've got to meet. So if you're in a car wreck and get hurt, people go, wait, I don't want my health insurance to have to pay it because now I have a higher copay or higher deductible I've got to meet. Those things come into play, and there's ways we can sort that out for you. So I say it all the time. There's so many things we see every day that people don't deal with, hopefully ever, but sometimes when it's unexpected, call us. It's a free call. Call and ask the question. We can guide you through it. Like I said, we do this day in, day out. I've been doing it for almost 30 years. That's, wow. When I say it out loud, it seems like a lot, right? But yeah, call us and ask us.
But take advantage of your experience.
That's right.
And the experience that most of us don't want to have, but you've been able to walk through it with a lot of people. And so we can take advantage of the lessons you've already learned. We do have a caller on the line. Mark in Prattville, go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Mr. Vance.
Morning.
I'm a disabled veteran. I served at Camp Lejeune for 3 years, and I'm having a lot of problems with allergies. And I rent an apartment in a local apartment complex, and I'm allergic to the apartment. And I only stayed in there 7 days, and they're charging me $5,600 for breaking my lease. What can I do?
I would read the lease. First of all, thanks for your service. That it's terrible that you're having to go through that, and it could be, you know, the landlord probably going to point to all sorts of other things. You know, it sounds like where you're going with that is maybe there's a mold or some sort of issue in the apartment complex. I would read the lease, because sometimes the lease will address those concerns. If that's what's going on, that should be a valid way to break the lease, and you wouldn't owe it even though they say you do. So that's an area of law that we don't typically deal with that. We've had some mold cases in the past. Again, reach out to us after this call. We have a lot of folks call us and ask us to read their, whether it's insurance, whether it's a lease, those kinds of things. We're happy to do it. We've got a number of lawyers at our law firm that can look through the documents for you. Happy to help you with that. So I would say reach back out to us. We'll reach back out to you after this call, but we'll look at it and see if what the lease says, because a lot of times, I can't stress that enough either. Leases, auto policies, life insurance policies, any kind of document that you sign, you're supposed to have read it and understood it. That's the law of the state of Alabama. If you put your name on it, you're telling the world, hey, I understand what I'm signing, although most people, you know, if push came to shove, they don't really understand the ins and outs of everything that they sign. But please, you know, call us if you got a question. We can look through it with you and find out if it's addresses what your issue may be. It may or may not, but we can look at it and tell. So hopefully we can give you a little more direction. And that's usually what we find we do for callers is we're giving them direction on the best way to try to resolve their problem. If they call us and say, I had a car wreck, we do that every day, and we're happy to help. But a lot of times people aren't really sure what their issue is or what the next step might be. It's worth a phone call because we can guide you on what we think your next step would be, or our experience we just talked about. Hey, over the years, we've seen this before, and this is what folks have found to be the best next step.
Yeah. And your connections. Take advantage of the connections that you already have so
That's
people
right.
can connect with your connections.
That's correct.